Believe it or not, there is a reason I'm holding this book. I was a long-time fan of dinosaur, and it was my childhood desire to visit Berlin Museum of Natural History, and I made it come true on 1st of October 2019. I was there buying tickets for entering into the Berlin Museum of Natural History. So let us learn something about the fossil that has been a constant source of vision as well as the light that tells us with proof that there has been an evolution, and these were the conditions that have molded us to what we are today, to how we are surviving, how we are thriving, our behaviors, as well as the way our body has adapted. So let us dig into that and read today's chapter, Displaying Fossils. One of the greatest satisfactions of fossil hunting is to build up a well-presented and informative display of the best specimens so that other people can appreciate and understand these fascinating objects. This can be done by following a few very simple practical tips. Fossil displays can be a permanent installation or collapsible and brought out for special occasions. It's well worth putting some thought into what you would like to convey in showing a range of specimens together. The most interesting displays usually have some sort of linking theme or topic. For example, varied fossil from the same locality at different times, illustrating the range of life which has populated the area through the ages. Fossils of the same geological age and site, revealing the variety of plants and creatures that live together in the same place. This can allow reconstruction of the whole habitat and how the animals and plants lived together and interacted, an area of science known as paleoecology. A group of organisms or similar fossils through time, such as seals, petrified bark, or fish teeth. These can be compared and contrasted to see how they evolved. A practical display. Almost any size of display can be made attractive and informative, from a shoebox to a huge wall cabinet or standalone glass case. Ensure the case or container is presentable, perhaps with a coat of paint or paper lining that contrasts with the samples. Choose only the best specimens available. Do not dilute them with poorly preserved or broken examples. As your collection builds, you can transplant new and better finds to replace older, less impressive ones. Position and support each specimen at its best angle to show off the most informative side or face. You may need to trim off unwanted edges to make pleasing shape and set the fossil to its best advantage. Include neatly printed label or cards both for individual specimen and groups of them. Or label a diagram or photographs of the collection as a key. Selection. If you have a container or case for a collection, try various options of fossils before deciding on the final selection. Move them about and group them into different ways to show similarities or contrast. It's not unlike trying furniture in different places in a room before deciding on the best layout, section, and infills. Sometimes the broken surface of a fossil can be used to advantage. It may be sawn or cut off flat and then sanded or polished to reveal the inner structure of the specimen. This may be very beautiful, with colorful swirls or patterns of mineral crystals adding to the effect. Another option is to fill in the missing part to make the specimen whole again. This is usually done with some type of plaster or resin, but in a color that contrasts with the actual fossils. The size and shape and contours of the infill can be gleaned from pictures of whole specimens. Attempts to blend the infill portion so that it looks like the rest of the fossil needs great skill and usually end up detracting from the overall effect. A faintly tinted clear plastic resin is another option for infills. It is usually better, more honest, and also scientifically acceptable to make the infill very obvious. Preserving. Sometimes a broken fossil can be mended with a clear glue. As already advised, try the glue on an unwanted piece or surface first to check it adheres and does not discolor. Fossils that are weak or crumbly can be stabilized with chemicals called consolidants, hardness, or protective resins, especially made for the purpose. Again, try them in unimportant areas first in case they cause discoloration or a chemical reaction which may degrade the minerals. Varnish or not? Varnish or not? Some collectors like to varnish their specimens. This may help to seal and stabilize the minerals. It may also deepen hues and bring out textures and colors. However, over the long term, certain varnishes can degrade the minerals of the fossils. Also, a shiny varnish means light glints and reflects off the surface, which can be irritating and obscure detail. However, some fossils are made by a process called pyritization. The original material of the organism is replaced by mineral iron pyrites. In moist air, this is unstable and gradually disintegrates. Such fossils are best dried thoroughly and varnished to seal them from moisture in the air. Below, following expert guidance, museum staff may decide to add certain finishing touches to enhance or protect the surface of reconstructed skeleton. Uh, the tale of Diplodocus, replica at the National Museum, History Museum, London. There you go. He's reconstructing the bone of the I don't know, dinosaur Baryonyx. When you see these structures in the museum, you must understand that these are not all the original pieces, because when they are dug, they are not recovered in entirety. They are always missing pieces. So it's always molded, and as it's mentioned, these are cast made of GRP, that is glass reinforced plastic, to complete the leg and supported on the iron structures so that you can have a view of the entire dinosaur, how it looked like, and gives a life-size image. So that's it. And next time when you see the entire structure of a dinosaur, understand that it was found in pieces and it has been completed via these cast so that it doesn't looks interrupted and incomplete, and it adds to the aesthetic value of the fossils, and it keeps drawing the audience and the tourist from all over the world. So that's all for the reading exercise today. There you go. All the best. Thank you.